Alright guys, welcome to today's video. I'm out here at the beach and I'm not surfing right now because as I was about to go in the water, these guys told me, they were the last two guys getting out of the water, and they told me that they saw a good sized shark. And maybe I'm just a big fat weenie, but I don't want to be the only person out there in the water after these guys saw a shark. I don't even really like surfing as the only person in the water, just because if something were to happen, I would like somebody to at least witness my demise and hopefully help if they could, but I don't know. So right now I'm just going to answer some questions about how I stay healthy in a van. Pretty straightforward. So let's jump into it. How do you stay consistent with healthy habits when your environment is always changing? I think that this question sort of highlights the importance of finding consistency in the inconsistent. And, you know, my life changes a lot, but everybody's life sort of changes a lot. Things aren't always going to be exactly how you want in your routine, and you have to be flexible enough to adapt with that. And so, you know, maybe it's working out at a different gym, or working out the same gym at a different time, or finding alternatives to gym workouts, working out at your home. Maybe it's you couldn't make yourself a super healthy breakfast like you wanted to, so you really dial in lunch and dinner. And I think it's like anything in life, just trying to be flexible and do your best. You don't have to be perfect. In fact, I love that saying, perfection is the enemy of progress. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to do your best, I think. And subtle improvements day over day are going to last a lot longer than attempting perfection, because you'll never hit it anyway. So, I think. But what do I know? What do I eat in a typical day, and how do I keep meals simple but healthy? I try to get most of my foods in the form that you'll find them in nature. So, like, you could find meat in nature. Obviously, it would be in the form of like a cow or a chicken or something, but you could find veggies in nature. You could find nuts in nature. You could find all kinds of things in nature. You're probably not going to find Flamin' Hot Cheetos in nature. If you do, you're a lucky guy or girl. You're probably not going to find ice cream in nature. But trying to find those foods as close to their form in nature as possible is just, like, that's my number one goal with every meal. And obviously, I don't always stick to that. I do eat some treats and snacks and stuff that I probably shouldn't, or I know isn't the best for me, but I aim to make about 90% of what I eat the good stuff, and then, you know, have that 10% treat or whatever. How do you handle staying active without a gym or routine access to gear? I stay active without access to a gym by having access to lots of gyms. I have multiple gym memberships, so I can kind of work out wherever I want, but I also use my gym oftentimes as a bathroom and as a shower, so kind of goes above and beyond what a lot of people maybe use a normal gym membership for. A lot of people probably use the bathroom, but maybe not that many people shower at the gym. But also, there's a lot of alternative ways to work out without a gym, like being out here at the ocean, surfing. If you've ever surfed, like, within 5 minutes, your shoulders and neck will be burning. Those dogs will be barking. Like, that's your feet. It's not really your shoulders. Your shoulder dogs will be barking. Rock climbing is one I like to do. Martial arts I like to do. These are all kind of things. Like martial arts, you need a subscription or a membership for usually. Surfing, you get a surfboard one time and you can paddle out in the ocean for free whenever you want. Going out for runs, just use, you know, we all have different things around us. Maybe you live in the mountains and you live by some good snowboarding spots. Maybe you live around a bunch of good hiking spots, but just kind of making do with what you got, and again, making the best of your given unique situation. Do you ever struggle with motivation to move your body, and how do you deal with that? Not really. All my hobbies and things that I like to do are pretty physical. Plus, I'm dealing with a couple injuries, so I need to go to the gym anyway to work on my rehab exercises for those. I enjoy kind of the feeling of struggling a little bit in a workout. So it's fortunately not something that I've ever really lacked the motivation to do too much. Like, sure, I get days where I get real comfy and lazy sitting around lounging about, but once I get up and get moving, I always feel better. And I mean, there are times, I guess, where I don't really want to go work out, but like, as soon as I get warmed up, I'm like, man, freaking glad I'm here because I feel great and I know I'm doing something to improve myself. So I guess, yeah, I do feel sometimes not that motivated to go move the old body. Sometimes I look out at the ocean here before surfing and I'm like, God, it looks cold. I know it's going to be tiring. It's kind of scary. The waves look a little big. Am I going to get smashed? Is there going to be some sea creature that tries to eat me? So just making do with that. What's one wellness habit that makes a big difference for you? Could be anything. How you doing there? I think probably the biggest thing is I recently really focused on not comparing myself to others because I get so frustrated with seeing people who are way younger than me or seemingly had less than me and they were just like killing it and succeeding in all these ways that I wasn't. And I think that, yeah, that not comparing myself to others because we're all on our own journey and we're all figuring this thing out on our own. Let me adjust this. It looks so dark. And we're all figuring this thing out on our own. So I think, yeah, just not comparing myself to others would probably be my biggest like wellness habit, like jump to the next level here that I've made recently. How do you take care of your mental health on days when you feel isolated or chaotic? I try to get not isolated, I guess. I try to put myself in situations where I'll be around people, even if I'm not interacting with them. But just like being at the gym and stretching, like I was pretty sad due to some personal reasons not that long ago. And one of my things I would do is just go to the gym and I would like stretch or walk on the treadmill for like a couple hours just so I didn't have to be alone, just so I could be around people. And even though I wasn't really talking to anyone, just that like physical presence of people around made me feel a lot better. So yeah, I think just putting yourself out there, stepping out of your home or whatever, go out into the public eye somewhere. Maybe it's just walking through a grocery store, or maybe it's like, is it a grocery store? Or maybe you actually go and strike up conversation with people. People aren't going to be that mean to you probably if you just try to say hi or talk to them about something they're doing or like, you know, whatever. If you feel like you need that social interaction, just go find it. There's a lot of people I think that kind of deal with feelings of loneliness and shit, and you know, looking out for each other can be good. How do you manage sleep and rest with changing parking spots and noise? I'll tell you what, dude. I've slept in the gym parking lot a few nights, and people roll up at like 2 a.m. blasting music, and I'm just like, don't you know people live here? But like, it's crazy that like people at 2 a.m. are blasting like heavy metal or rap or something in a parking lot, and that kind of surprised me. But yeah, sometimes the noise is gnarly. The amount of mornings I've woken up to people doing like landscaping right outside the van, or traffic goes by, and if traffic drives too fast, it kind of like shakes the van a little bit. And I won't lie, I definitely don't sleep as peacefully in a van as I do in like a regular home. But you know, that's just part of the deal, I guess. What do you keep on hand for days when cooking or being active feels like too much? I mean, I got my computer with me, so I can always fire up some, like, whatever, Crunchyroll or Netflix or something and just potato about and watch TV. When I don't want to cook, I like to keep some, like, chicken nuggets in the freezer that I can just toss in the air fryer. I like pork rinds. They feel like a healthier, like less processed snack that I can just snack on, but kind of just like anybody would do, like eating the same shit. I have basically a full kitchen in there, so with some limitations, but yeah, just regular food stuff. How do you stay grounded without a stable schedule or space? This is actually really tough, and I find myself kind of losing my grounding sometimes. Like, I really want just like a consistent thing a lot of times, and that's why I've been like, I've had like internal conflict about getting rid of the van, or maybe getting a box truck, or maybe getting an apartment or something, because there's so much change and inconsistency that sometimes it is hard to stay or feel grounded in that realm. So how do I do it? I do my best, man. I try to find some sort of routine in there, whether it's like going to the gym on certain days makes me feel like I have a routine, or following the same kind of morning routine makes me feel like I have a routine, and it just makes things feel a little bit more grounded. What advice would you give to someone trying to stay healthy while living on the road or traveling a lot? I would give them the same advice of somebody who doesn't travel or live on the road or whatever. Eat your whole natural foods, get movement, get sunshine, fresh air, and, you know, practice gratitude. If you find nothing to be grateful for, then that problem lies in yourself, because even the people with the worst circumstances should still be able to find something to be grateful for. So yeah, I did a whole video about that. I think it was my 4 aspects of a happy day or something, which I can link right up here. If you guys want to, go check that out. And that's going to conclude today. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any more questions, comment down below, and I will see you next time. Peace.